Welcome to another day of satire news, sort of satire. Today, we will have solutions to the issues facing Kansas and Wichita specifically. These solutions will be coming from Kansas House Republicans, and we're not sure what she is, but she's so crazy she pretended to be libertarian when running for mayor. So let's just dive right on in. The first question here, I'll let the Kansas Republicans answer first. How will you fight the growing crime rate? Well, I think the obvious solution for this first would be more cops, more guns, probably more white people. Well, just more cops. For our next question, I'm scared to even ask. How will you solve the ever-growing homeless crisis that is plaguing Wichita, Kansas? We will let libertarian-ish Lily Wu answer first. More cops. I love cops. You can't be homeless if you're beaten or shot to death. Well, we're the Kansas legislature. Our solution for homelessness would be the same as always. Shoot 'em for sport. Well, now I'm even more scared to ask this next question. But how do you plan to keep homeless people from using library restrooms? Because that is something Wichitans care about, apparently. Kansas Republicans, how about you guys go first? You guys aren't as dark. That's a good question. Obviously, we can't just allow homeless people to use restrooms, especially at a public library. I mean, that's just crazy. I think we could probably just do what Wichita's already doing. Just require coins to use the restroom. And that seems pretty sensible to me. Probably save money. Somehow. Oh, sorry, I was dreaming about more cops. You don't have to go to a bathroom when the cops can just beat the piss out of you. Well, now for an issue that sane people care about. How do you plan to help Kansas through growing inflation rates? Lily Wu, since there's no possible way you can bring up cops on this issue, why don't you go ahead and go first this time? Obviously, more cops. You don't need groceries if you can't breathe. Well, that all starts with going through Hunter Biden's laptop. This just keeps getting worse. Okay. Well, how do you plan to fix the lack of public transportation in Kansas, and specifically Wichita? Republicans, you guys can go first. I'm kind of scared of Lily Wu right now. What's a public transportation? Is that Uber? Oh, well, obviously more cops. I mean, where do you need to go if you're busy resisting? Well, obviously this next question was submitted by Jared Cerullo. Do you think we should pave the rest of Wichita's roads? Not how do you plan to, but do you even care? That is basically the question. I guess if the Koch brothers don't need a new car today, could pave a road or maybe two. Poor people are so spoiled. Oh, well, no way. We already only put 40% of our budget to our police force. And that, I mean, obviously that needs to change. That's just not okay. An issue that's really important to capitalists. How do you plan to bring more development to Kansas, and specifically Wichita? Kansas Republicans, please go first. Well, ultimately, I mean, obviously, more tax breaks. I mean, that always works for everything. But I mean, let's be fair. Wichita charged those developers $1 an acre. I mean, you can't charge that much money. I mean, that's insane. Who's going to want to come here for $1 an acre? You guessed it. More cops. Why develop when we can just choke to death? One of our last questions. How would you deal with bad apples in the police force? Kansas Republicans, for the love of God, go first. Well, really, for being honest, those bad apples, I mean, that's. The news wants you to think that. But I suppose for the one or two hypothetical bad apples that could maybe exist, we could suspend them with pay. Well, not all cops can be white supremacists or murderous psychopaths. But we'll do our best. Alright, and our final question of this unfortunate, scary segment. What would your solution be for saving or not saving Century 2? Republicans, you can go first again. Well, I don't know what Century 2 is, but if it hasn't been built yet, we need to build it. I don't care how many people die building it. This thing needs built. Although if it's already built, I don't really care. You know, it is what it is. Oh, we're gonna keep Century 2. Where else am I gonna put all these new cops? Well, Wichita, tonight we joked about some pretty serious things, some pretty scary things, which depending on your viewpoint could be cops or libraries, cops in libraries, libraries and cops. But ultimately, I just want to say we thought about having a Brandon Whipple character answer questions today too, but I mean, come on. We already know who he is.